The use of synthetic identities and AI has made us rethink how we view verification as a whole. Traditional document checks and static data points have really not made it enough or is not enough in order to be able to detect anomalies. We need to go a little bit above and beyond, especially when we have AI creating hyper-realistic forgeries and even mimicking human traits. Now, more organizations are moving a little bit more towards multi-dimensional risk analysis. This has to do a little bit more with enabling tools such as behavioral biometrics, device intelligence, and using environmental signals in order to address or assess risk signals that would allow us to introduce friction at certain points. When we talk about multi-dimensional risk analysis, we talk about tools that allow us to identify user behavior, environmental signals, and device intelligence. What do we mean particularly by that? When we talk about behavioral biometrics, we talk about understanding how someone uses their devices, like the pace or how fast their keystrokes are, the movement of their mouse, for instance. Additionally, when we talk about device intelligence, it has to do with our ability to be able to identify IP address activity. Are they working where they say that they claim that they are? Are they using any sort of anonymizing IPs in order to mask their true location? When we talk about environmental signals, it has to do with, are we able to identify inconsistencies or other anomalies that have to do with specific transactions that have been made in the past? When it comes to specific technologies, for instance, when it comes to attacking how AI is used by bad actors, for instance, I believe three of the main items or technologies that are changing the game have to do with behavioral biometrics. This has to do with the measuring of how someone uses their own device, their ability to be able to type fast or slow, the use of their mouse, how they're able to interact with different websites, etc. Additionally, we have device intelligence, which allows us to identify inconsistencies with IP addresses, for example. Bad actors typically like to perform their work in anonymity. Therefore, they don't like you to know where they're doing their work from. So they utilize a lot of anonymizing IPs in order to spoof their true location. Additionally, we have environmental signals that would allow us to better detect the use of AI deepfakes when it comes to AI generated images or heavily AI edited images as well, including injection attacks, which are a huge nuisance to online platforms. When it comes to identity as a whole, I believe that identity needs to be something that's continuous. It needs to be consistent. It's not necessary only at the onboarding stage. It's necessary to include it at various stages of the user's life cycle. Additionally, when we look at documentation itself, we want to be able to look at a little bit more. It's not just enough what a user is able to submit, but it's also helpful to know and understand how they submit it, when they submit it, and from where.